Hello students, today we are going to talk and learn about the qualification of secretary. So, what are the qualifications of secretary? In the Companies Act, minimum qualification of the company secretary is already prescribed, but usually the secretary acquires more qualifications to fulfill his responsibility effectively and easily. This qualification can be achieved through education and training. These qualifications are as under. So the first qualification is educational qualification, knowledge of accounting, knowledge of office administration, knowledge of meeting management, knowledge of various acts, that is legal acts, knowledge of economical and political affairs prevailing in the country, knowledge of current issues, excellent command over English and other languages required depending upon your job, knowledge of public relation, that is how to maintain the relations with general public, different stakeholders, different parties. Knowledge of computer and other electronic gadgets is also a must. So we will learn each and every qualification in detail in this lecture. Let us move towards the first thing, that is educational qualification. The company secretary must have certificate of Institute of Company Secretary. It means he must be company secretary. Moreover, degree of law helps him to prepare agreements, legal documents, contracts and in other legal affairs. So, education qualification must be up to the standard already prescribed by Institute of Company Secretary in India. Moving towards the second qualification, that is knowledge of accounting. Knowledge of accounting is a must. The book of accounts must be prepared as per the rules and regulation of the Companies Act in time. So we already know that today the prevailing Company Law Act for maintaining the account is Companies Act 2013. So the secretary must be well acquainted with the laws, rules and all the acts of the prevailing law. Then only it may be possible to get them audited in time, because getting them audited is the first priority of any company. These are the responsibility of the company secretary. If the accounts are prepared in time, the secretary can submit annual accounts in the time to the shareholders at annual general meeting, which is held once in a year compulsorily. He is able to do this if he has the basic knowledge of accounts, then only. So it is very important for the secretary to have the basic knowledge of accounting so that he can carry out his responsibility efficiently. Moving towards the third, that is knowledge of administration. Now what do you mean by administration? Administration means management. Company has to indulge in day-to-day activity, day-to-day administration to develop the coordination between different workers, different departments. For that, it is very important for the secretary to have the knowledge of office administration. The company secretary is the chief of administrative office. He must have the ability and knowledge of distribution and coordination of work between different department and employees. The company secretary requires knowledge of office administration to resolve problems arising in day-to-day office function. So he must have the administrative knowledge to tackle the day-to-day problems. Now moving towards the fourth is knowledge of meeting management. As we have already learned that secretary has to meet different kind of people in day-to-day life, different government official, public, shareholders, customers, creditors, bank directors, bank employees. That's why he should have the knowledge of meeting the personnel. The company secretary has to arrange different types of meetings like board of directors, shareholders, creditors, etc. In this meeting, secretary has to perform various kind of duties before meeting, during meeting and also after meeting. He has to issue notice for meeting, he has to prepare his agenda, also he has to write down minutes. Minutes is a summary of the meeting. So during this meeting, he has to observe rules and regulation for quorum, proxy and voting right as per the Companies Act. So the company secretary requires knowledge of meeting management too. Arranging the meeting to the making the minutes of meeting to see that everything is carried out smoothly. Moving towards the fifth qualification, that is knowledge of various acts. There are various kind of legal acts which are prevailing in the country. Company has to abide all the legal acts, all the legal duties and responsibility. In the present situation, the secretary is supposed to know various laws. It is very essential to manage company effectively. In these laws, particularly Indian Contract Act, SEBI Act, Sales of Goods Act, Stamp Duty Act, Provident Fund Act, Knowledge for what? Knowledge for Service Act are essential for the company secretary to perform his duty with perfectly and lawfully. By knowledge of these laws, he can prevent probable legal hurdles which requires much more time and efforts to solve them. So it is better to take the precaution. So the secretary must have the knowledge of various kind of acts prevailing in the company at a particular time. Moving towards the sixth qualification, that is knowledge of economical and political affairs. The company is formed in the society. Ultimately, it is the part of the society. It bonds, operates, and dies in the society. It comes across different kind of sections of the society. The company is affected by the economical and political affairs of the society itself. The secretary must converse himself with the present affairs and changing situation so that he can tackle the various kind of complex and difficult situations so that the company's working is done smoothly. So the board of directors may be intimated in proper time, situation can be handled properly, and the arising situation can be turned into the profitable one, that is taking the advantages of different kind of affairs prevailing in our country. Now moving towards the seventh is knowledge of current issues, trends, knowledge of various kind of disaster management, what to do, how to deal the difficult situation. So for that, the company is formed in a society. Company secretary must know the current affairs and present problems prevailing in the society. The current affairs may affect the development of the company. For example, let us take an example. In Assam, certain group has put restriction on exporting crude oil. In such type of situation, the secretary may provide proper guidance to the board of director and keep them well acquainted with the things, issues, opportunities prevailing in the economy to prevent such situation in future and to gain the advantages of the availing opportunity in the economy. Moving towards the eighth qualification of the secretary, excellent command over English and other language. It is very important for a secretary to be fluent in the English and also to handle the other languages which came across in fulfilling its duty in different countries by negotiating with the technical person of the different kind of countries for manual reading of the different kind of machineries. So it is very important for the secretary to have the knowledge and perfect command on various type of knowledge, various type of languages in which the secretary is dealing. Nowadays, in any company, communication for business is English almost in all over world. The company secretary has to follow the correspondence with various parties in English, has to communicate with various stakeholders in English. The company secretary must be excellent in English. With the development of company, it has to deal with foreign companies also. They have to negotiate with the foreigners in their native languages. At that time, foreign language is helpful for the secretary to understand and then to do agreements with foreign companies. Now moving towards the another qualification, that is knowledge of public relation. The company secretary has to maintain relation with various parties, various stakeholder. They are creditors, shareholders, board of directors, employees, general public, and customers. The relationship with such parties is essential to build up the confidence among these parties to maintain the proper relation and to develop the business. In the long run, it helps to increase the prestige and goodwill of the company. So the knowledge of public relation is a basic requirement for the company secretary. Now moving towards the 10th and the last qualification of a secretary, knowledge of computer and other electronic gadgets. So it is very important in modern times for a secretary to have the proper knowledge of different kind of computer apps and different kind of electronic gadgets like he should be able to write the email, he should be able to manage the social media accounts, various kind of software, hardware, graphic design, word processing, spreadsheets, database, preparing the PowerPoint presentations, IT troubleshooting, everything. In the modern times, computer has become a basic requirement of a company. Computer is very helpful to store various types of information regarding shareholders, debenture holders, board of directors, creditors, and other information of the company in a huge scale, which saves time, resources, and human labor, which makes our work less cumbersome and easier to deal with. To gain this advantage, knowledge of computer is essential and inevitable. Moreover, he must be well conversant with electronic gadgets which are used in office administration and to command and control over indiscipline of employees. We will complete our lecture over here. We will move towards the another topic in another lecture. Thank you.